The night was quiet in Texas. Families were sitting down at dinner, children laughing, the sound of TV sets glowing from living rooms. But inside one house, silence covered something far darker. A little boy, 5 years old, had vanished, and the only person who could explain where he was his own mother. That mother's name was Cindy Rodriguez Singh. And within months, she would go from suburban parent to one of the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives. But how does a mother end up on a list filled with terrorists and cartel leaders? And what really happened to her son, Noel? To answer that, we need to go back. January 2023. Noel Rodriguez-Alvarez was 5 years old, a child with special needs. Bright eyes, a shy smile. People in his community knew him as gentle, sweet, and innocent. But Noel's home life was complicated. His mother, Cindy, struggled. To some, she seemed stressed but ordinary. To others, she carried a darkness they couldn't quite name. Then, suddenly, Noel was gone. At first, no one noticed. Cindy offered excuses. Noel was with relatives. Noel had gone to Mexico. Someone else was caring for him. The stories changed every time someone asked. But slowly, the truth crept out. Noel hadn't been seen in weeks, then months. Not at school, not at the park, not anywhere. Neighbors started asking questions. Relatives grew worried. And finally, authorities were called. What they found would shake the entire community. Police pressed Cindy for answers, but her explanations unraveled fast. She couldn't prove Noel was alive. She couldn't show where he had gone. And behind closed doors, whispers began to grow. People spoke of neglect, abuse, cruel words Cindy had used against her own child. The fear became unavoidable. Noel wasn't missing. He was dead. And if that was true, there was only one suspect, his mother. By mid-2023, an arrest warrant was issued. Cindy Rodriguez Singh was charged with capital murder. But when officers moved to arrest her, they found nothing. Cindy had vanished. She didn't just run. She disappeared. For most fugitives, escape means hiding in a nearby city or slipping across the nearest border. But Cindy's trail was different. She was gone, completely gone. Weeks passed, then months. Authorities feared she had crossed an ocean, and they were right. By the summer of 2025, the FBI made an announcement that stunned the country. Cindy Rodriguez Singh had been placed on the 10 most wanted list. Her face, smiling in an old photograph, appeared alongside cartel leaders, killers, and international terrorists. A $250,000 reward was offered for her capture, but what shocked people most wasn't the money. It was a question. How could a mother, be accused of murdering her child, then join the ranks of some of the most dangerous criminals in the world? Investigators traced Cindy's movements. They followed paper trails, whispers, fragments of tips. Slowly, a picture emerged. Cindy had fled to India. For more than a year, she hid in plain sight, blending into crowded streets, trying to erase her past. She lived quietly. She avoided attention. But she couldn't erase the shadow of her crime. The FBI and Indian authorities worked together. Surveillance followed her steps. And then, in August 2025, everything came crashing down. On August 20th, Cindy Rodriguez Singh was arrested in India. The mother accused of killing her 5-year-old son had been found halfway across the world. The news broke quickly. Across Texas, people who had once known Noel wept. His short life had ended in tragedy, but at least his story hadn't been erased. At least his mother, accused of his murder, was no longer free. But as relief spread, so did another question. Why? Why would a mother harm her own child? Was it desperation? Mental illness? Cold-blooded cruelty? Psychologists will tell you that crimes committed by parents against their children are some of the hardest to comprehend. They shatter the very idea of trust. They cut against the instinct to protect. And yet they happen. For investigators, Cindy's arrest was a victory. For Noel's family, it was a moment of closure. But the tragedy will never fade. A little boy is gone. A community is scarred. And a mother will now face the consequences of her choices. But the case leaves behind something more, a haunting reminder. Evil doesn't always wear a mask. Sometimes it hides behind the smile of a parent. And when trust is betrayed at its most sacred level, between mother and child, the world is left asking, how far can love be twisted before it becomes something deadly? The story of Cindy Rodriguez Singh isn't over. Courts will decide her fate. Evidence will be revealed. But one truth is already clear. Noel's memory cannot be forgotten. His life may have been short, but in death, his story became one of the most relentless manhunts in FBI history. And maybe in that, there is something to hold on to. A reminder that justice can cross oceans. That truth has a way of finding its way out. This was the story of Cindy Rodriguez Singh, the mother who ran across the world, but could not outrun justice. If this story moved you, don't let Noel's memory fade. Share this video, talk about it, and keep his story alive. And if you want more stories like this, dark, raw, and unforgettable, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to Dark Crime Archives, and turn on notifications. Because in every shadow, there's another story waiting to be told.